being a black man and hearing about the KKK stuff, rather than getting offended by it, he, if anything, I think, I could be wrong, but I think he was more intrigued by it. Like, he was more curious on why a group of people would put themselves above another group of people just for the sake of doing it. Because that's how some KKK groups work. They think they're better than black people just because they're white. That's it. That's the only reason they need to think they're superior. That's the only reason they need, and that's the only reason they want. So after hearing that, he got, if anything, really intrigued, because he couldn't grasp the concept of doing that. He couldn't get the idea of just placing yourself above someone else for such a stupid reason. So rather than actively just complaining about it, because he knows that's never going to change anything. If you give in to your anger thinking that's going to change anything, then that's just what your anger wants you to think, because that's the whole point of anger. It's supposed to blind you. It's supposed to make you give in to your baser nature, your baser instincts. That's what anger is. That's why people get pissed off, and that's why when they're angry, they make stupid decisions. Now, while they're angry, you can't really blame them because they're angry. That's just what happens when you're angry. You get blinded. You make stupid decisions. That's why it's never healthy. A human emotion, but not a healthy one. So rather than doing that, he thought of the smart choice, the next best thing. He said rather than getting angry at them, he's going to actually attend these things. He wants to know why these people think like that. And while it is risky, obviously, being a black man, because this wasn't just any ordinary KKK group. These people were known for actually being quite violent. They would actively go out and hurt black people just for the sake of hurting them. But he had to know the answer to this question. He just had to know the answer, and he would go to any lengths to get it. So, and that would also include attending these rallies. So rather than instantly going to a rally, he arranged a meeting with their leader, the headmaster of that clan. And this guy, like I said, was well known for being violent, but he invited him over, and he didn't tell him he was black, though. He just said, he told his secretary he just wanted to arrange a meeting, and that's it. Just for the TV or just for news or something like that, right? And that's literally it. He didn't tell him he was black. But he walks in, and he's outside the waiting room, and the secretary has the phone at the ready to call the police just in case, because, like I said, this guy is known for hurting people. But he still went through with it. So he walks into the room, and the guy physically sort of recoils a little bit to see that it's a black man doing the interview. He wasn't told this. But rather than instantly ordering his bodyguard, because he had one with him just in case, but rather than instantly ordering his bodyguard or hurting him or things getting violent too quickly, he sat down calmly at the table. They both looked each other dead in the eyes, and the clan leader makes it very, very clear. He doesn't talk first. The reporter talks first. And he says it's nice to meet him. Can he get him a drink, something to eat, something like that? He's friendly, like any human being should. So he was being friendly and stuff like that, and obviously his offer gets turned down, but that's fine. And the clan leader makes it very clear. He's like, okay, so before we start, he makes it blatantly obvious. He makes it very clear. He's like, I will continue to go through with this. We will talk. But he wants to make it 100% clear that he is inferior. He said, yeah, we will continue this, but like he said, he made it very, very obvious. You are inferior to him. He is better. Rather than getting angry, because that's not going to solve or make things better, he simply just agreed and said, you know what? Fair enough, fine. So they continued, and obviously there was nervous tension throughout the entire thing. They were both very paranoid, because it could go horribly wrong. The bodyguard had a gun, obviously. He made that very obvious. He had it showing. The weird thing is, I think in the middle of their interview, the lights flickered or something, the power went out a little, right? And within that split second of the power going out, both of them panicked. Because both of them thought they were going to hurt one another. See, because the clan leader thought he was going to hurt him because he was white, and the reporter thought the clan leader was going to kill him just because he was black, and that's it. They both thought they were going to try and hurt each other. that's the thing, is they both completely forgot why they were there. So thankfully no one got hurt, but it was funny because the lights flicker, and when the lights come back on, they notice that the reporter, he was ready to tackle him to the ground and, get into a fight. He was fully ready. In fact, he was, ready to jump over that desk and attack him, while the bodyguard already had his hand on the gun. However, the lights came back on. So rather than actually doing anything, they all just stood there, looked at each other, and laughed. And this was the weirdest experience for both of them, actually. Because the clan leader he was laughing, but it felt so weird to him because he was laughing with the very same person he said was inferior to him. While he considered him an inferior person, he was still able to laugh. He was still human. This guy wasn't a mindless killer. He wasn't a psychopath. Two people of polar opposites, one man who thought he was inferior to the other, just for blind racism alone, was laughing with the very person he thought he was better than. And that's astonishing, because when you laugh with someone, you're laughing with them. You are having fun with them. It's a shared connection. It's a shared thing. And to think that a Ku Klux Klan member, a man who genuinely was a full-on racist, he was fully aware that he was laughing with a black man. And I'm not going to go into greater detail about the rest of the story, but long story short, the meeting went absolutely perfectly, and the reporter started actively inviting this clan leader to his house for supper, for dinner, for all sorts of things. And it took a while, but guess what? The clan leader eventually started to do that exact same thing. This reporter was so bent on just understanding things and being calm and rational and friendly and a good human being, to the point where the clan leader eventually stepped down as a clan leader. He became friends with the very person he made it clear that he hated. A full-on racist literally invited this man to his house, ate supper with his kids. During one KKK meeting, the clan leader is sitting there giving a speech, and one of his subordinates lashes out and swears or something at the reporter for being there, right? Because racism. But the clan leader does the unthinkable and tells him to shut the hell up and says, you know what, that he respects that black man more than half of the white people here.